I want to tell you something that sales gurus are just too afraid to say out loud. Scripts do not close deals. You do. I spent months memorizing word tracks, objection rebuttals, tonality frameworks, and I was still getting ghosted, getting stalled, and I was watching guys with half my knowledge make twice my money. But the moment I stopped trying to sound like a closer and actually started becoming one is when everything changed. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what that shift actually looks like, because it may not be what you think it is. In case you don't know me, it's Luke McNaughton here, and I dropped out of college when I was 19, learned high-ticket sales, helped scale a company from 10K to over 400K per month, and now I help people learn how to make 10K plus per month online so they never have to live on someone else's terms. If you're tired of the traditional path, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. So let's rewind about a year ago. I was doing everything right on paper. I had the scripts, I had the frameworks, I was watching every sales video I could find. I was taking notes, running role plays, literally anything you can think of, I was doing it. But I would hop on calls and something still just fell off. I could feel the prospect physically pulling away, but I didn't know why. But then I actually had a moment where a mentor called me out and he had me listen back to my own calls with one thing in mind. And I heard it, and I never had before. I sounded fake. Like I was literally performing and reading lines. And prospects, they get uncomfortable by that. They stop trusting you, not because they actually notice it, but more subconscious. They just start to pull away, and you may not even know why it's happening either, but they do. And honestly, no script can fix that. You're only gonna dig the hole deeper trying to pull yourself out of it with a script. So I stopped focusing on what I was saying, word for word being scripted, and started focusing on who I was being. And that sounds super vague, right? Just be yourself, and everyone says that. You're probably thinking, well, great advice, thanks, guru. But let's actually break that down in real practice, because this took me way too long to understand. So there's two types of closers. One studies sales, and one becomes a salesperson. Type 1 knows all the right things to say. They have the word track to handle the objection. And type 2 becomes the type of person that someone would want to buy from. And the difference between the two is just identity. So think about it for a second. High ticket sales, 3, 5, 10K decisions, oftentimes much more. Nobody makes that kind of investment without actually trusting the person that they're investing into or paying. And trust is not just built by saying all the right words, it's built by being the right person. So if you don't believe in yourself, if deep down you know that you're just a guy reading a script, trying to take their money, they're gonna feel that every time, and they're gonna pull away. So the first shift is getting completely sold on yourself, doing more work on yourself than you do on the script or any word tracks or anything like that. So that means keeping promises to yourself. When you say you'll wake up, you wake up at that time. You say you're gonna go to the gym, you go to the gym. And doing the reps even when you don't want to, because every time you let yourself off the hook, you actually erode a little bit of this self-confidence, and that will show up in your calls. And a small side note on that, you also have to forgive yourself for any past mistakes, because none of us are perfect. We all have these mistakes, and you can't hold on to that baggage and going into calls with that. Well, we can do another video on that, just a side note. All right, so number 2, most new sales reps are playing the game entirely wrong. Everyone is so obsessed with scripts in this space. So what do I say when they say they need to think about it? What do I say when they bring up price? What do I say? What do I say? What do I say? But here's what no one really talks about. The best closers, the top closers that I've ever seen, they don't even sound like closers. They don't sound like salespeople. They just genuinely sound like they don't even need the deal. Because honestly, they don't. Not mentally. They're not on the call thinking, say yes, please say yes. They're just thinking, can I actually help this person? Does this person have a problem? And if so, can our service solve that? And that detachment, that can't be forced. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna turn that on for this call. No, that's an identity. The person just has that detachment, and they're there to just truly see if they can help that person. So number 3, your standard for yourself outside of the call determines your performance inside of the call. In our community, we say sales is life and life is sales, because it really does just have so many correlations. And this is the part that a lot of people skip, but it's also the most important part. Do you go to the gym when you say you're going to go to the gym, like we were mentioning before? How do you act when no one is around, when no one's watching? Are you truly a person that holds yourself to the standards that you want to hold your prospects to? Are you actually dressing well? Are you actually doing the right things? Are you showing up for yourself in terms of work, in terms of your relationships? And all of this determines if you're going to be able to hold your prospect to those same standards, to that same level. You can only hold someone else to the level that you hold yourself to. So all of that bleeds into the energy you actually have on your calls. You can't fake confidence, you can't fake certainty, because the people on these calls, they've grown up around other people as natural. They are able to read certain levels of energy because they've been doing it their whole lives without even knowing it. So if you show up on the call as someone who doesn't hold promises to themselves, doesn't hold themselves to a standard, and constantly is just letting themselves down every single day without just almost even knowing it, it's just almost subconscious that you're just doing this over and over and over, you have that, and they can just see right through you. It's going to waste your money, it's going to waste your time. And that's why as well, you may have one person who joined sales, very like two people, completely new, both of them. You're gonna have one that takes a while to actually ramp up and actually start making money, and you're gonna have one that makes money right off the bat. Because the one that makes money right off the bat, they already have this just ingrained in themselves. They already have the discipline and the confidence of being a person who does this, upholding these beliefs with themselves. And then the other person maybe still has to learn more of that. They still have to go through this process of building this identity, and then they can start closing more of these other people. This identity shift isn't a mindset hack. It's a decision to become a person whose word actually means something. And it 100% starts with you. And once I made this shift, not just talking about it, which I had done for a little while before, but truly actually made it, started focusing on myself and all these things that we've been talking about, everything changed. And I just want to pause for a second because yes, 100%, I'm still improving. I'm still working on my identity. I'm still constantly trying to get better, constantly working on myself, because there's always room for growth. But there's certain pivotal points that you get to and you're like, wow, that was a big change. I'm sure I'll have more in the future, but I've had those so multiple times that I can actually speak on. And again, you have that, and it's calls just become a little bit smoother. You're not begging for the close at the end. You're not trying to like feel like you're pulling on this rope of resistance to bring them over the line to get a close. It's just happens. And it seems almost like, oh, that was just a lay down, like I got lucky on that. But then it happens again and again and again, and you're like, wow, this worked. So truly it is what we've been talking about, and 100% can help you as it did me. And the results, well, obviously the income is amazing and very nice, and you get to do a whole bunch of different fun stuff with it. But beyond the money, you feel worthy and actually deserving of this, because you are the type of person that you know you had to be to get that, and that you did the things needed to actually get there, rather than kind of forcing it to happen. You put yourself aligned with the type of person that it would just flow to. And again, that sounds woo-woo and funny, but it truly is right. If you can be that type of person, the things will just start naturally coming to you. That's all for this video. If you got value from this, drop a like. It genuinely helps push it out to other people who need it also. And drop a comment with any questions, topics that you want me to cover in the next one. And hit subscribe if you want more real content on breaking into sales and building actual freedom. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.